Hi, my name is Sneha Ramachandran. I'm a software engineer in the VC++ team, and I'm excited to show you Visual Studio's new CMake debugging capabilities for CMake projects targeting Linux via WSL or SSH. In this video, I'll be showing you how to set up a CMake project that's targeting a remote Linux machine, and walk through an example of using the remote CMake debugger to fix a build error. To use the CMake debugger remotely, there are some things we need to set up first. First, we need to have a remote Linux environment configured to be targeted via SSH or WSL. If you're not using WSL, you'll have to add the remote connections details to Visual Studio using the Connection Manager, which you can find by going to Tools, Options, Cross-Platform. Click Add and fill out the fields for your remote SSH connection. In this video, I'll be using WSL. You can install it with this command. Sometimes you may need to restart your machine afterwards. Then open the distro you just installed and you'll be prompted to set up a username and password. The Linux environment must also have a C++ compiler, GDB, CMake, an underlying build system generator, rsync, zip, and socat installed. Assuming your distro uses apt, you can install them from the apt repository. You can also install any apt packages you need for your project at this point. The version of CMake you install must be 3.27 or greater to use the CMake debugger. You can check the version by running CMake -- version. If your CMake version isn't high enough, you'll have to install it yourself by unpacking the correct version's tar from CMake's website. Now that we have our setup out of the way, let's try debugging a CMake lists.txt file remotely. For some versions of WSL, you need to select the Always Use CMake Presets option under CMake Configuration File in the CMake General Settings tab in the Options menu. Next, set the target system to WSL. If you want to target another remote Linux machine, make sure to add the connection via the Connection Manager that we showed before. If you don't have a CMake presets file or Linux preset, Visual Studio will provide a Linux debug preset for you. If you do have your own presets, they'll populate in this menu. Before we start debugging, let's first set a breakpoint in the CMake list.txt file that we can hit. Now to start CMake debugging, all you need to do is click Configure with CMake Debugger under the Project menu. We should see the execution stop on our breakpoint. We can see here that the breakpoint was successfully hit in our CMake lists.txt file. You can also see that you have access to all of Visual Studio's standard debugging features. You can set breakpoints based on line numbers, file names, or function names. You can also specify when breakpoints are triggered. You can use the call stack to see file names and lines associated with your debugging process, and you can click to go to the line. In the exception settings, you can decide what types of errors and warnings the debugger should automatically break on. In the Locals window, you can view the state of different CMake cache variables. You can even set watchers on defined variables by right-clicking on them or manually typing them into the watch window. Now that we've gotten a rundown of the CMake debugging experience, let's use CMake Debugger to identify and solve an issue. Let's configure and build this project without the debugger. First, let's configure it. The project seems to be configuring fine. Now let's build it. And we get an error. The build is failing with the following linker error. It indicates that LSDL can't be found. Let's debug our CMake lists file to see what's going on. We can set a breakpoint at the end of the file and see what we can find in the variables in the locals pane. Now that we hit the breakpoint, let's search for LSDL in the locals window. So we can see here that LSDL2 is set, not LSDL. We should be linking against SDL2 rather than SDL, so let's check where we're linking. We can see here that I accidentally linked SDL instead of SDL2. Let's try updating this and then building again. In fact, I'll update it to link against an aliased target like this, because then in the future, I'll get a configuration error rather than a linker error if I make the same mistake. Now the project configures and builds correctly. The CMake Debugger helped me quickly figure out what the issue was. And with that, I conclude my demo today highlighting how the CMake Debugger can be used in remote situations. Be sure to give it a try the next time you run into a CMake bug. Special thanks to Cy Brandt and Tariq Brown for helping with the demo, and thanks everyone for watching.